Hey, remember like a few days ago when I made this video? You're welcome.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, I'm Derek, the convicted cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I'd like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media, and the Oscars just ended, and I like most of the movies this year, but on the whole, I think this was my second least favorite Oscars in recent memory. The only one that I was the even less interested in honestly was the Green Book year, and for obvious reasons. This year went better than it could have with the whole Amelia Perez thing. It could have gone way worse, and Amelia Perez could have won Best Picture, and so on and so forth. Thank Jesus that only won the two awards I allowed it to win: Best Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana and Best Song. I was fine with those. I'm glad I'm still here one for International Feature. That is great. Did anyone else's Hulu get cut out right as they were about to announce Best Actress? Because mine did, and I got really fucking mad about it. So that ruined the entire evening on top of me just being disappointed. If you can't tell, I'm not a huge Anora fan. So the fact that it won five goddamn Oscars kind of pisses me off a little bit because I found it very okay in general. It's a very well made movie, so I'm not going to argue Sean Baker being a great filmmaker, and Mikey Madison is very good in the movie, but overall, I just didn't really give a shit about the story or the movie in general. But it's perfectly well made. I was one of the people going into this Oscar season thinking Anora was kind of overrated, and now I guess it's just official. Now that it's won four Oscars for Sean Baker alone, and Mikey Madison. I was rooting for the substance, of course. I was hoping that makeup correlation would become true yet again, and it did not, sadly. So I feel bad for Demi Moore. I'm not surprised. I got my prediction right. I said Mikey Madison would win. I got all eight above the line categories correct. Not surprised at all with the acting wins. I knew Honora was going to win Best Picture. I assumed it was going to win Best Director. Given the law of averages, I assumed it would win Best Original Screenplay, which it did. I was hoping for an upset from Substance or A Real Pain there. So once that award got handed out, I knew I was in for an evening. But when Sean Baker slash Honora won for Best Film Editing, I was like, well, Demi Moore's losing, and my video is correct. He's going to win all four Oscars tonight, and that's crazy. God, that's weird. It's, it's such an underwhelming Oscar season, in my opinion. You have all your Dune bros mad that it got snubbed for so many technical categories and Best Director especially, but at least that won two of its five nominations, so that's good. Overall, I did fine in my predictions. I got a couple of the shorts wrong because they're always a crapshoot, and I was happily incorrect with animated feature. I predicted Wild Robot, and Flow won, which is my personal pick. If I would have voted, I would have picked Flow. So I'm glad I was wrong to an extent, although Wild Robot is great. I would have loved that if it won as well. So that's the only time I was wrong where I was actually happy about it, I guess. But beyond that, yeah, Wicked took its costumes and its production design. Overall, like after everything was said and done, it was a pretty predictable year. Best editing was the most up in the air, mainly because it was a mediocre category with a couple nominees that really shouldn't have been there. Let's be honest. Had better edited films like Challengers and or The Substance gotten in there, it would have been a more interesting category. I'm still happy with all the Substance nominations. I'm glad I can call it an Oscar winning film. It still got in for Best Picture, which is amazing. Not to mention picture or director and screenplay for Coralie Farge and Debbie Moore, etc. Yeah. I got all three of my Brutalist predictions correct. Score, actor, and cinematography. So those were all correct. I'll probably do another video where I go over every single um, thing I got right and wrong in more detail. But I want to know what's your favorite Oscar win of the night. I don't even know what mine is honestly because I found this whole Oscar season underwhelming. I wasn't passionate about hardly any of the films that had a chance of winning, which is why I was rooting for Demi Moore because The Substance was my favorite of all 10 of these films, and it actually had a shot of winning, but in the end, you gotta go for BAFTA, like I said. Even it does Critics' Choice and Golden Globe in the long run really doesn't mean shit outside of getting you some momentum. But when it comes between SAG and BAFTA, 99% of the time, go for BAFTA. And I was right with Adrian Brody and Mikey Madison for that reason. If the BAFTAs don't like Anora enough to give it anything else, they still gave it Best Actress, which was the key sign of the Academy probably leaning that way. It's a very unconventional Best Picture win, so I like it for that reason. It's like a weird gangster comedy thing. Like it's hard to pinpoint a genre for the film, which I like. I like the fact that it is in many ways a comedy winning Best Picture. It's the next best thing next to a horror movie winning Best Picture. For that, I like it. I would have preferred Break or Bay taking director. I would have preferred screenplay going to The Substance or Real Pain. I just thought there were more interesting and unique ideas and better dialogue driven films, personally. I'm happy that Conclave won its one award for adapted screenplay. I was hoping it would sneak in there for editing and actually make the night somewhat interesting, but once that didn't happen, I was like, okay, I could probably just go to bed now. But I had to stay up for 3 more hours so I could listen to Adrian Brody's acceptance speech. It's a weird thing. Like I'm not madly in love with most, if any, of these movies, and I was right about most of my predictions, and I'm happy with most of the winners, but it still feels so underwhelming to me. Am I the only one? Let me know. Like it feels like deflating once like Anora started to sweep, like I basically predicted it would anyways. But like sometimes I don't like being right. I prefer to have wrenches thrown at me when it comes to these award season things. This is why Oscar nomination morning is always more fun than the Oscars themselves, because there's still hope at that point. So this is my just bullshit running of the mouth reaction to the winners. Please let me know what you think. I'll probably do a more thorough video tomorrow going over every single category and what I got right and what I got wrong, etc. Maybe what I would have chosen instead, which I guess I already did in my other video, so go watch that one. Uh, but I don't want to be up too late, so I'm going to keep this one quick. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Once again, my name is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Shop, pop, movies.